Yeah, so the head coil test shows that it's confused because if we press the wrong button, so we do a head coil test. So head mouth, wrong, nope. So yeah, that's definitely not picking up the right position. I just set the time and date as the default date, and it does something amusing. Just go into test mode, come out. We get the Happy New Year message. Didn't know it did that. Well, a lot of people on the internet say that this relay board can cause problems with the head. I believe this is for reversing the direction of the motor. So I've taken it out and I've reflowed all the connectors and the relay itself. So we'll give that a try. So I reflowed that relay board. Head's still not working properly. I've gone into solenoid test, gone to motor relay, and the relay is not clicking. I've just lifted the playfield up as well just to check, but it's definitely not clicking. So I don't know if it's the relay that's dead, the connections, or the drive transistor. We'll have to work it out. Okay, so we had some dodgy wiring going to the drive board, so let's check it out again. So we'll go right. Fantastic, and we'll go left. That looks better. Let's go to head cycle. Yep, that's correct. And correct again. Fantastic, it actually looks like it's working properly at last. That's it. Right, so this is the skill shot assembly which I've just dismantled. This is absolutely filthy, that needs a hell of a clean. So, this is the rubber bumpers that sit there. These are all filthy as well, so we need to get everything cleaned up in here so we're not dragging dirt around the playfield. Okay, so it's progressing along nicely, so I've just cleaned up that skill shot mechanism and fitted the plastic. I've also fitted the light board and replaced the lamps as most of them didn't work. So, you know, I don't know, probably about 50% of the playfield done now, I guess. It's not looking too bad. Okay, so I thought I'd have a quick look at this board in the middle, and straight away I can see the solder joints are cracked on some of these pins. So I'm going to need to resolder this. That's why this board isn't lighting up anyway. I'm not sure about the others, we'll have to get through them all. Right, I found another non-working lamp board, and it's down to this cracked solder joint here. So let's reflow all those pins. Well, this one here sure is a filthy ramp. That needs a hell of a clean. It seems fairly okay. I mean, it's cracked at the bottom. I'm going to glue it up a bit here past this crack, but if we get the protectors for it, I think they actually cover most of this area, so that should be okay. We'll get that sanded as well. Yeah, let's see what we can make this look like, see if we can make it look a lot better. I'm just stripping the hardware off this ramp so we can clean it properly. We've got a broken solder joint here on this coil, and we've also got a broken joint at where is it now? Yeah, that one. Well, it's not a broken, someone's cut that, I think, but that needs repinning. So I'll go and get my crimper and we'll sort that out. And we'll solder that wire back onto the coil there. Right, that seems to have polished up fairly nicely actually. It's all nice and shiny. It's not perfect, and it does have cracks at the entrance as we showed before, but it's certainly polished well. Good enough anyway for such a project machine. It's going to be a final buffing with cloth, and that's ready to put in the game. Right, that's the hardware's all been reinstalled, and we've also, just move my hand, we've fixed the wiring here, so we've soldered this solenoid. Oh, bloody hell, the other wire's just fallen off now. That's the one I've just soldered. And I've also repinned it, because that was broken there. Right, so I'll just resolder this one now, and then we're going to put it in the game. There's always something else. At least it's fallen off now, but before it's put it in the game. And here's another broken plastic we need to deal with. So we're going to take this off, clean it all up, and then we're going to glue it together. And then once that's screwed down, that should hold it well enough, I think. So we're going to strip this mini playfield down, take all these metal bits off, take all the posts off, give it a good clean, put the post back on and put new rubbers on the posts. Right, let's have a look at where we're up to. We've done pretty much all the rubbers now. We've glued the plastics that were broken, we've fitted most of the plastics. Started fitting some of the wire forms, we've cleaned up the pot bumpers, we've got the head mechanism in place, got these flashers in. So yeah, you know, it's got to be over the halfway mark at least. Certainly going into the sort of finishing off end. Finish securing on these plastics on, and then we start putting the ramps on. So the trough here for the kicker, that is a real dirt trap. So I've basically taken that off and given it a good polish up inside and out, and it's looking pretty good. So I won't be dragging dirt around the playfield anymore. Right, well I haven't been able to get the controlled gate on the ramp working yet, and this is the connector here. Now if you remember, I had to actually repin this, because it had been cut. Now I think someone was up to something, because this side of the harness is actually missing the wire as well, so we're not sure where that's gone. I have to try and find that. Okay, so I've transferred all the hardware over onto this second ramp now. I'm just going to wipe off any fingerprints, do a final polish up, and then we'll fit it into the game. So my little plastic repair seems to have worked. That corner I've added in, mounted this gate on there. I'm just polishing up and reassembling the trough, and this piece here is really messed up. So I've got to try and get a new one of these. Right, well, things are progressing quite nicely with this now. We're mostly there. I just need to do some more tests. We need to fit the plastic on here. Still need to replace these flippers. I'm having two unmatched ones. Just fitted this ramp down. It's not looking too bad. Right, well I found the missing wire. I have no idea what someone was trying to do with that, but I've managed to basically recrimp it and connect it back up. So let's just test this. That looks pretty good. So the gate is now working. Excellent. Now we need to deal with the helmet. Well, there's a few missing screws we need to sort out. So things like this are hanging off, boards aren't all secured down. So we'll sort that out. We can take this plastic shield off and clean that up, it's a bit dirty. And then before we actually fit it together, I'm just going to connect it up, probably lift the playfield and connect it up to the drawing board directly, just to test what lamps work. I don't want to put this in, fit it, and then find out half the lamps don't work. So I'll do that next. Right, so that's the helmet connected. There's only actually 2 lamps working on the entire thing, so good job I decided to check it before fitting it. Let's get those lamps changed. There we go, that's much better. All the lamps are now working. Now I'm struggling to fit the helmet because these flash lamp covers seem to be too big. So I think someone's put the wrong ones on this, so I'm going to have to take them off for now. Okay, I've worked it out now. It's actually quite simple. I mean, it's obviously not as easy when you're assembling a game that someone else took apart and you haven't got any deconstruction photos, but I think this lens needs to go inside, behind these spaces. That should make it short enough, because before, when I got it, it was actually mounted like that, which is obviously wrong. Oops, dropped that. But, you know, that's obviously wrong because it's too sticking out. So I'm just going to try that now. With it at the end of the spaces like that. That should be alright. Yeah, see, there you go. That seems like that'll be absolutely fine. I'm just going to do the same with the other side now. Well, I've started replacing the flipper bats, but the pawl on the left-hand flipper is crushed as someone's over-tightened it. I can't get the new bat through that. So I'm going to have to replace that. I mean, I don't think these need a rebuild because there's actually no play at all in the links. This pawl is beyond repair, I think. So I'll get a new pawl installed. So I started rebuilding the flippers and I was trying to get the coil sleeve out of the old coil and it got stuck. So I pushed a new coil sleeve into one side of it just to push the old one out a bit. Now the new one's completely stuck and I can't get it out. So yeah, I need a new coil. It doesn't actually look terrible inside. But it must have shrunk from heat, so yeah, I can't get that out. So I have to put a new coil and coil sleeve now. So it looks like we're replacing everything. The end stop's fairly gone on this as well. It's quite a bit shorter than the new one. Hard to compare the two. Can't hold it with one hand, but yeah, it's at least a couple of mil shorter. So we'll put a new end stop on. This is a new coil. Coil sleeve moves nice and freely. Brand new. And we'll stick that in. Now the right hand flipper mech actually has an almost new coil on it, so someone's replaced that fairly recently. The end stop's fine, I've checked that there's no wear, so I just put a new coil sleeve in, just to make sure the link's in good condition, moving freely. Now here's the link out of the left hand one that I've removed. Notice it doesn't move freely. So that would not have been helping the power of the flipper.